Are we good? Good here on the audio? Okay. Are we good on the recording, guys? Okay, we are just a little bit ahead of time. I want to make sure we let everybody get in here. Okay, we will, again, reminder, we'll utilize the microphones for your questions. Please identify yourself and your affiliation each time, as we are recording this, and direct your question to whoever it might be for. And I think if we can just begin, Coach Motzko, with some opening thoughts here back in the Frozen Four and how things are going in Tampa.
Well, I know how they're going back in Minnesota, so all the airports are shut down again. The miserable winter, so Tampa Bay is an unbelievable place for all of us to be, and we are excited to be here. It's great regional to pop our way through, out of Fargo and to get back here. It's such a special moment, and we got a veteran group of guys and 11 freshmen. So we've got a group that went through it a year ago, and then we got some young guys for their first experience. But our older guys are paving the way for us, and we're in a good spot.
Guys, what's been happening in Tampa since you've been here? Any early on stories? We're going to go. We got two Ryans here, so I always just usually use the first name. So what should we go with? RJ? Is that good?
RJ.
Yeah, RJ. All right, let's start with you. What do you got?
Yeah, so it's been fun so far. Just thankful to be here. It's a great opportunity, obviously, and we're thankful for the success we've had. We just want to keep it rolling and obviously be focused. There's a lot of exciting things around us, but a lot of hype, and we're just going to try to keep our eyes on what's important and just stay within our team, stay within the group, and not be worried about the distractions.
Chess, what are your thoughts? How was the trip in? What's been going on in Tampa?
Yeah, trip in was good. Flight was good. We got here, very nice weather, pretty hot, a lot different from Minnesota, but it's been good so far. I think RJ summed it up well. Just try not to get too caught up in the outside noise and the distractions, and just focus on what's at hand.
Snuggy, what's going on down at the end there? You hear from anybody? Any former alumni? What kind of thoughts you got for us?
Your dad.
Your dad.
Yeah, Paul Martin did a great job of showing us what the alumni had to say and with our journey and stuff. And we went through a lot of leadership skills with him, and they pretty much said all the same stuff. Just enjoy the moment and have fun with it. And it's been really fun to be here.
All right, your questions, Julie. Right here in front.
Julie Robenheimer, NHL Network Radio. I'd like opinions on everybody, but how did you guys use this 10 days? A lot of times it feels like it's an eternity, and other times it feels like it was a blink and you're here. So how have you used that, not only in terms of like rest, preparing yourself mentally, but also like tactically, and are there things you wanted to see different heading into this opportunity?
Snuggy, start with you.
Yeah, I think the coaching staff did a great job of putting things in place for what we need to do against BU and, hopefully eventually the championship game. But just throughout the week, we kind of stuck to our schedule, our practice schedule, and we did the things that we normally do to get ready for these type of games, so they did a great job of that.
Chess, what's the last 10 days been like?
Yeah, it's been good. Same practices, keeping the same routine going. I think just keeping our emotions pretty level, not getting too excited, not getting too down, just kind of staying level, and then we're just happy to be here.
RJ, what's it been like for you?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, honestly. Like having an extra, week and a half to spend time with the team. Our season could have ended a while ago, but we're still here, and just every week is grateful. I'm just so grateful to be with the team and the guys, and we're putting a lot of preparation and work to this week, and it's exciting.
Motz, you like the break?
No, but it was the same for all of us. So we all had that time off. We kind of went on a hard every other day because the region was an every other day, and that's what this is. And we'd only played 4 games in the last, so we're fresh. We had one minor, one injury that was healing up. So we pushed fairly hard over the last 10 days. But I was most impressed, like last Saturday or this past Saturday, we had morning practice, and you're you're just wondering how they're going to be, and they were dialed in. But it's kind of been an MO for our team from day one. They had great focus. They competed. We got after it. They competed hard, and when it was all done, I remember the staff just kind of looked at each other. Okay, we're good. And there were no buttons to push. And that's been the MO of this group. Great leadership, great group of guys. They play for. They really do play for each other, and there's been some sacrifices out of that group, and that's kind of how the week went.
Awesome. We've had our second fine already of the Frozen Four. I think that might be a record this early. That was Paula Weston to my right, who was making noise, and Paula will pay the fine after, and we will determine as a group how much that will be. Thank you, Paula, for contributing to the fund, and now to our next question. Thank you. Would you like to ask a question, Paula? Okay. Jess in the front.
Jess Myers from the Rink Live. Bob, for you and for any of the players, the picture of John Mayasich getting on the plane yesterday, I know you've made a concerted effort to reach out to some of the real legends of Gopher hockey, but what did it mean, bringing him along on this trip, and for any of you guys, what does it mean to see some of those legendary M guys here?
Well, me being a little older, kind of unite with him when we took our trip to Evelyn, and he said, if you go to Tampa, I'm coming with. And his son reached out and said, where does he meet you? He's coming. And he is so excited. And so I'm probably the next most excited with some of the older people, and I hope these guys get it. And he said it. I don't remember when he told me, he goes, I haven't been to a Frozen Four because he's a lot sharper than I am. Someone look up the date. He told me how many years, because he's a lot sharper than I am. It's great. And he's got a Gopher bag that he used as a player that it's still in great condition, and it's pretty special.
Guys, and some of you may not know American hockey history, maybe like Coach Motzko does, or I have an inkling into, but when the all-time great players in our American hockey history are talked about, John Mayasich is always in the conversation. So what is he? He's going to be 90 coming up, I think, right?
90, yep.
Yeah. Guys, do you know much about him? Any comments on having one of the great players with you on the journey? I don't know who wants to take that. Jess?
Yeah, I just think it was obviously really special seeing him come along the trip with us, knowing everything he's done and contributed for the program in the history. So I think it was just a really cool moment.
RJ, what do you got? Anything?
Yeah, no, it's cool meeting him in Evelyn and getting to know him. I actually knew his relative Sam in Sioux Falls, so it's cool to meet his great uncle.
Snuggy, did he give you any tips?
Not a lot, no. I mean, it's just obviously cool to see his history, like these guys have said, and what he's done for this program. But no, not a lot of tips. I'm sure he just wants us to win this thing.
Probably right. Right here in front.
Joey Johnston from the Tampa Bay Sports Commission, for coach and a player, if possible. This is the third time this event has been here, and there's always been a comparison of the teams. Hey, the temperature back where you come from is there, and it's 80 plus here. And I know we're getting great weather for you guys. I understand the weather has been tough in Minnesota this winter. So is it bizarre to go out of your house, go out of your hotel and see the sun out, and to not have weather be a factor? I mean, what's that juxtaposition like of the winter you've had and then you're here?
At in just a couple of weeks, we're going to gather down in Florida for the American Hockey Coaches Association, and I will make a plea that it be here at least every third year. We'll let a couple other people have it, but I mean, just to know that it is a destination that people want to go this time of year. I'm sure it's the same in Boston. I know it's that way in Duluth. I know it's that way in the Twin Cities. And then I was here, I think it was the first one that they had. They do such a fantastic job with the event, and this is a pretty special place to be. So the sun's not going to bother any of us, so let it come.
RJ, are you enjoying Tampa? You vote for every third year?
Yeah, maybe switch it up and go to California. I think that'd be a nice spot. It's just across the other coast.
All right, we like that.
RJ's from California. I think you all know that.
We don't, it is third time in 11 Frozen Fours. That doesn't happen very often. We just went harkening back. St. Paul actually was the last city to have 3 over that span or less in 89 to 94. So it's pretty infrequent. And who would ever thought we'd say that sitting here today, Bernie? I mean, back when we were kids that the Frozen Four would ever be here in Tampa? Come on.
Strictly frozen.
All right, Fassbender, no. She got it started here, didn't you, Faz? Yes, Kristen Fassbender over here to my right. She used to be the director of this championship from the NCAA. Special guest. Nice to have her here. Okay, Matt, right here. Right here in front, second row. Take your pick. Is that phone going to go off again? No.
Hey, Bob. Matt Baker with the Tampa Bay Times. NIL has been a huge deal in football and basketball in particular. I'm curious, how, if at all, has it affected your program and your seat, and where do you see that going?
Hockey's behind a little bit, like in the conversation. Like the portal now is 2 years in, and all we hear the craziness in football and basketball in the portal. All of a sudden, now it's getting a little crazy in hockey. I think it's going to be a conversation that's going to heat up more and more in hockey over the next couple of years. We just don't have that many teams compared to in football and basketball, but it's starting to heat up, and there are more discussions. Like I heard, you're hearing $1 million deals for football or in basketball. Our players get burritos, so but I think times are changing.
How many of you have gotten burritos?
Daily, I'm sure. All right, Bernie, back.
Bernie Corbett, Hockey on Campus, Sirius XM NHL Radio. Bob, the depth of this team is something that you've often mentioned. I mean, the first line is elite. Your top defensemen are elite. But just to give us some perspective on the depth of this team and how that's played out over the course of the year to come in here as the number 1 seed.
Well, the greatest depth for I can give you is like our defensive core, which is something I've never had or even seen with a D-core this deep. And it started a year ago when Ryan and Lacombe, and we didn't think any of them were coming back. But as a season, these young guys now are experiencing their experience at Minnesota and what we're doing. They all came back for 2 for their senior, 1 for their junior, and so they get a lot of the accolades. And then all of a sudden behind that, and Mike Kester as a junior gives us great depth. But our 3 freshman defensemen with Chesley, Middlestat, and Cal Thomas, they kind of get a little hidden in that. Well, 2 of them are on the World Junior team, and that's the depth of our D-core. But what's been most amazing about it is, and I'll give it, is Faber a year ago was playing 29, 30 minutes a night, and he's down to 21, 22. But his production is an all-time level. That everybody's sacrificed, where you're talking just a few minutes here or a few minutes more from our younger guys. They have been all about team. They've all been all about each other. And to the point where we redshirted one of our older defensemen because of the depth there. And as a coach now sitting here, knowing we were going to have this depth, and now here we're at the end of the year, the thing I'm most proud of is how they've been all about the team. And I got 1 freshman defenseman. His minutes are going to triple next year. But he's been a huge part of our success. And the same thing with it took a while for our young 11 freshmen, but I know Cooley and Snuggerud and Nice get an awful amount of attention, deservedly so. But the depth, the Hughlin line or the Nelson line sometimes don't get talked about as much, but they are the reason we're here. And our team knows that. And so maybe that's the shortest version of answer I can give you on our depth. That it's one thing to have depth, but it's another thing to have the players that just have accepted it, and they love the ride we're on, and we wouldn't be here if we wouldn't have had that depth or had the attitudes that these guys have had. So it's been awesome.
Okay, over here to the left.
Chris Lurchios, CHO. This is for coaching any of the players. As you said, you've got a veteran team, but you've got a lot of younger guys too, compared to BU, which has a lot of upperclassmen. Does that factor into your approach to this game at all?
No, that's one of those things. It is what it is. We're here because of our youth and our depth of our older guys. That isn't. We can't really look at the other team we're playing because almost every team we played this year, every team that won was older than us by a lot. Doesn't affect us, and we get pucks deep, don't take penalties, win face-offs. We take care of and manage the game. We'll be in a good spot.
Chris, you want to hear from the players on that, or guys, anything to add to that? RJ?
No, I think we're ready. We're ready for the battle, and yeah, we've been tested early in the year, and we've been tested throughout the whole season. So I think we're just working preparation for us. Yeah.
Randy in front here.
Randy Johnson, Minneapolis Star Tribune. Bob, this is for you or any of the players. What jumps out about BU on tape when you look at them?
The depth, like they can match any team in the country with depth. High-end defensemen, good goaltending. Won their league, won their playoff, won their region. They're clearly the favorite here. So, with the 11 seniors, there were a lot of things that jumped out about BU that I liked.
Jess, anything on BU?
Yeah, no, I just think they got a lot of elite level talent. They got a lot of depth and just familiar with a lot of the names on that team and know what they can do. So I think we just got to play our game, and I think we'll have success.
All right, Jess.
Jess Myers from the Rink Live. Bob, just an update. You had said last week on Connor Kurth, you said maybe any update on his condition.
100%. Yep.
Julie. Might as well stay right there.
Julie Robenheimer, NHL Network Radio. I have a question for Ryan and Jimmy, mostly because I feel like you guys have more to contribute. But what makes Logan such a dynamic player? What makes him so special? Why does he deserve to win the Hobie? And if I get the microphone back, I'll ask about Maddie. So don't try to compare. I just want to know about Logan right now.
Snuggie.
Yeah, I mean, obviously playing with him for the past 2 years, it's been pretty special, and the things he's accomplished are pretty unbelievable, and he's only improved in those last 2 years. So I think for him to possibly have that Hobie Baker, as a team we're all really happy for him, and to see that for him, and just his skill set, he's improved on his shot, things like that. His skating has even improved, his corner work. I mean, just the way he plays the game is pretty special.
And I don't want to be presumptive of which Ryan, Julie.
Ryan Chesley.
Okay, good. Yeah, no, I just want to make sure we had the right one down because there are two of them. Okay, Chess. Next time, it's Chess. Yeah, yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, obviously Logan's an unbelievable player, and I think what gets talked about a lot is his skills and talent on the ice. But what really stands out to me is his compete and love for the game and his teammates. He's just an incredibly hard worker, loves the game, and plays it the right way. And I think that's what stands out most to me.
Okay, and now
Can I add one point? to
Yes,
that?
please do.
That
absolutely.
they're on the same line, but then the other kid on the end of the line down here that had 50 points, like he could be in the same conversation. So it's been a special group, but I think they like playing with each other a lot.
Okay, now do you want to comment on Nizy while you're going, Mats? You want to comment on?
Yeah, you know, he's kind of the big bully. You know, he when he's got a little bully mode in him, he clears the path, and a real good hockey player to boot. I know his numbers aren't as big as, you know, when I've read a couple articles as the other two candidates for the Hobie, but from our standpoint, we wouldn't be in our position without either of them. So the importance to what they meant, you know, what Matt has gone through over the last 2 years to our team is far more measured than being, you know, 15 or 20 points behind someone else, because he's an awful good hockey player.
Guys, do we have any good stories on Nisey? Who wants? RJ, what do you have? Anything big?
He's let's say he's fun to be around. Makes the guys laugh in the locker room. I'm sure these two got probably better stories than me, but yeah, just it's fun to be around him.
What about your perspective on like what makes him special on the ice and why he deserves to win the Hobie?
Yeah, no, I think obviously his talent and compete level seems like always 100% on the ice, and that's really rare to find in a game. I think like it's just hard to take him off the puck too, and just the amount of times he's stepped up in big moments in games for us has been huge for us and been cool to see, and yeah, contributing to the success of our team. As Coach said, both of those two have done a great job. So.
Okay, Matt.
Hey, Bob. Matt Baker with the Tampa Bay Times again. I wanted to ask you about Justin, and if you could kind of reflect on his career with you all, and what has he meant to your program to kind of stick around in the way he has?
Well, one of the more remarkable stories that I've had in coaching. You know, he comes out of a small community in Saskatchewan, is our third goalie, and it was either the first or second year. Sometimes when you have a third goalie that doesn't play, during your meeting, you know, are you happy? Like, the guys loved him. He's just a terrific young man. And he said, Coach, I'm here when you need me, I'll be here, but I am here to make the team better every day. And that's how we practiced. You know, and we had a Richter Award winner in net, and a great kid as well. And somehow his path chose to leave, as we all. And then, you know, it was tag. It was he had the first right to the net, and it's like he went in like you got to know him, as calm and cool as a human can be. Yeah, I've been waiting for this, and you know, the guys that follow us every day, he has been about the exact same from the moment he went in. He just gives us that steady confidence. And to the point, like he's been the number one goalie for a year and a half. And at the end of last year, I think there's some programs that would have went out and looked for another goalie. I couldn't do it to him. I said, "This is our guy. This is our guy. We're going to go with him." And with a half a year of work, and here we sit at the end of the year, and he's our backbone. And spend a couple minutes with him, and these guys will tell you he's just an unbelievable human. And it's just one of those cool stories in sports. You know, he's not a walk-on anymore. He is one of the big leaders of our team, and why we're here.
Chess, anything on your goalie?
Yeah, I'd just like to say he's probably one of the most calm and steady people that I know. Like he's never too emotional, and just keeps his emotions in check during games and practice especially. He's just always focused and driven, and yeah, he's just helped steady our boat this season.
All right, good, Matt. All right, anything else? Are we good? Julie?
Julie Robenheimer, NHL Network Radio. This is for anybody, but especially your prospective coach. There's a lot of history with Minnesota and being here, and it seems like you guys are always in the conversation, but whether it's like not being able to even make it to the Frozen Four, but just simply not being able to get it done. what is going to make it different this year, that this is going to be the year that the Gophers are on top?
That's a fun one. When you're, you got a coach out here, it's 1-3 of them sitting right here. This NCAA tournament, whoever coined March Madness, it's a one and done deal. And why did it take Boston College 50 years to win one? Remember, they went 50 years, and Michigan hasn't won it. I've been reading it, since '96, and us 2003. It's so bloody hard, and I was fortunate as assistant to do it, and Steve Miller's done it 3 times, and you just cherish the moment. But any one thing, one injury, one guy gets sick this week, in a one and done. It's not a best of 7. It's not a best of 5. Some of the great teams in the history of hockey have not won. And why this year? If we do, because we got the right guys. If it happens, but every play matters. All I can tell you about our group is we're a confident group, not from our ability, we're confident with each other. We're confident where they really like each other. We're confident we're going to put our best foot forward. And if we don't turn pucks over, if we don't take penalties, if we get good saves when we need them, we're going to have a really good chance to do it. So there's my coach that's going to come out. It's bloody hard, just to get here. So many things have happened in these regions. And any of the 4 teams here has a chance. And I don't know if there's been a tournament in a while that's so dead even as you're seeing this year. And if we do, it's because we did a lot of little things the right way.
How did you characterize that question again? That's
a good one. That's a fun one.
Fun one. Oh yeah, fun one. That was good. Guys, do you have anything to add to that? Does anybody want to jump in here, or do we want to go on to the next question? It's your choice. Kind of like we'll vote. Okay, we're going to go on to the next one. A coach that has won 3 national titles that's here with us too is Coach Scott Sandlin of the UMD Bulldogs back here. If you don't know, nice to have him here. Jess.
Jess Myers from the Rink Live. I'll try and make it a fun one too. What's on the playlist in the locker room, and who's in charge of the music? We asked the BU guys that too. I'd like to know what are you guys listening to?
Oh, who's taking that one? Snuggy.
Usually Nizy on the tunes. Some funny stories about what he plays sometimes, but usually just pump up before games. He was playing country after practice a bit, but I mean, literally whatever he's feeling is what we're listening to. So.
That's the bully.
So RJ, what's the variety like on the playlist then? Like we heard country. What else is on there?
There's some EDM, some little bit of mostly I'd say EDM is mostly the pregame, and then country for practice.
And Chess, any vetoes in there?
No, I think he does a pretty good job with it. He plays what he likes, and I think most of the guys like that too. So it's good.
And Motz, do you like the playlist?
I love it. I love it. I'm not sure. Every once in a while, I'll go in and go, who sings this? And then I'll put it on my Spotify. Every once in a while do I do that. It's usually when the country's gone.
You don't have EDM going? No.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, okay. Randy wants to ask a question on the music topic.
On the music.
Oh.
Randy Johnson, Minneapolis Star Tribune. RJ and Jimmy, your fathers both played for the Gophers. And any advice did they give you going into this tournament?
Snuggy.
Yeah. I mean, obviously my dad has been here, and he lost a national championship game to Harvard, so he knows what it's like to lose this game. And he just told me maybe the past 5-10 years of my life how much he hated losing that game, and this year of just how much he wants us to win this thing. But it's definitely some good advice, obviously, from both our fathers having that history. It's been cool to have that.
RJ.
Yeah, I think my dad's just more just like been like an encouragement to me this year, and he's just been, just offering advice, just, being prepared, getting ready, and, just kind of game at a time. I think that's more what he emphasizes. So, but yeah, he's definitely giving me advice.
Great.
Ryan's dad golfed at Minnesota, so we've got a lot of dads with connections.
Very cool. Do we have anything else? I think we are good. Guys, thank you very much. Best of luck.
Thank you.
5:02 face-off tomorrow, and we will have a team that begins with Q here next at 2:45. And if you'll be here about 10 minutes early, we'll go around the room and have everybody say the name of the school to see who does the best. It's Quinnipiac, by the way. Yeah.